Bluesboyjag here with yet another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. As often happens, just before I went to bed, I picked up my cigar box guitar and out popped this little ditty. I don't know if you call it a song or just an experiment, or maybe it's just an exercise. But I thought it sounded kind of cool, and I thought, might as well go ahead and do a lesson on this before I hit the hay. So this is a 3-string tuned to open G. That's an A string tuned down to G, and a D string tuned normal to D, and a G string tuned normal to G. So on this one, I'm using my first finger and my thumb to do the picking. And down here, I'm using my first and second fingers, depending on where I go. Sometimes I might use my third finger on this one. So to start out, that's the picking pattern. Second string, first string, second string. We're going to slow that down here just a bit as we walk up the fretboard. So that's what you're doing with the right hand. Thumb and first finger. Thumb's on the second string. First finger is on the first string. So we're going to start out slower than that, and we're going to walk up. Obviously, there's a whole lot of different finger picking patterns that we can choose here. This is my favorite. Oops. So, real slow, I'm playing the open 2 strings, 1 and 2. So I'm playing second, first, and second, starting with my thumb. So it's second string, and then first, and then back to the second again. Now we're done with that one. Now we go to the next fingering. So I've got my first finger on 1, 2, and my second finger is going to be on 2, 3. And I'm hammering. I'm not picking those. That's what makes this kind of unique. It gives it a different tone as well if you hammer and instead of picking. So real slow. Hammering both fingers at the same time. I'm continuing with that same strum pattern though. Now I'm sliding up. First finger is going to be on the 3rd fret and my second finger is on the 5th. Then I'm going to slide up 2 more. First finger is on the 5th and the second's on the 7th. Now I'm going to go 7 and 8. And now I'm going to go, what is that? 9 and 10. Now I'm going to go 10 and 12. Seems confusing, but it's really not. Sort of sounds like one of those etudes that you'd play when you're learning classical guitar. It's just a short little ditty. Now I changed it up slightly there, and you can of course experiment. Then we add that open G in there. There's all sorts of things you can do. So now we're back to the blues. Same idea. So let's try something here. I'm going to be playing the third string and the first string only. So I'm just playing the outside two strings open, then I'm fretting the third fret, but the first string is not fretted at all. Now I'm sliding up the third string up to the fifth fret and back down. So you get the idea. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this little lick. That sounds kind of dissonant, but if I go here, it sounds a little bit more happy. Dissonant means weird, right? I'm going to be fretting only on the first string. And I'm playing all three strings. I'm going to be using these two fingers and my thumb. Notice how when I slide up, you can't hear it very loud on that first string. That's because it's not a wound string. So if I slide up on the second string, you can hear it slide up much better. So it's 3, 1, 2. I'm still doing that same picking pattern. I just moved to the third string. Kind of cool. Now I just moved to the second, back to the third. So you can mess around with this. Sounds sort of like classical guitar. Now I'm fretting the outside two G's, sliding down from 5 to 3. Same picking pattern. So it's 3, 1, 2 as far as the picking pattern. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 for all of these. So if I do 3, 1, 2, open. I'm sorry, 3, 1, 2. I don't know what that is. Kind of minory? Kind of dissonant-y, right? Dissonant-y. Is that the word? Dissonant-y? Dissonant, which means weird. Anyway, if nothing else, that's a good little exercise to do for both fingers because you're using, or both hands, because you're using these two fingers and your thumb on the picking side, and you're stretching these two fingers apart and you're sliding up. So you're not really picking every note. Well, you are picking every note, but the slide up in between picks is what's cool. Right there. Also, I hammered on right there, by the way. Second, first, second string. And then I hammer. All sorts of cool stuff. How about going from 0, and then you're going to go to the 3rd fret with your first finger and the 5th fret with your second. All sorts of cool things. Do double picks on each string. What I would do if you're watching TV and maybe you're bored, or maybe you're watching TV and you're not bored, play guitar at the same time. I do that all the time. And I'll come up with these little ideas and I'll be like, wait, what's that? It just pops out of nowhere. Why? Because you're not thinking about it. You're not trying to write a song, right? You're not necessarily trying to write a really cool riff. You're just kind of experimenting and letting the guitar kind of take over. Just experiment moving your fingers to different spots and see what you come up with. Thanks for all the requests. Keep those cards and letters coming for requests and riffs. I've got a whole slew of them on my list. I've been busy the last couple of weeks, but I'll get some more videos done here as soon as I can.